Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. In the previous video, we continued to learn about the fundamental moral qualities in relation to the doing of good. As usual, the link to the previous video as well as the book under study, The Philosophy of the Teachings of Islam, is in the description below. From this video onwards, we will take a deeper look at man's search for God. So let's get started.
اسمعوا صوت السماء جاء المسيح جاء المسيح.
Another natural condition of man is that he is naturally in search of an exalted being with whom he has an inherent attraction. His Holiness presents the example of a child's attachment to its mother from the moment of its birth. As soon as it is born, it displays a spiritual characteristic of being inclined towards the mother and being inspired by her. As it grows, it finds comfort only in the lap of its mother, and nothing is able to beguile it away from her. Explaining the nature of this attraction, His Holiness states, "It is the attraction which the true Creator has implanted in the nature of man. The same attraction comes into play whenever a person feels love for another. It is a reflection of the attraction that is inherent in man's nature towards God, as if he is in search of something that he misses, the name of which he has forgotten, and which he seeks to find in one thing or another, which he takes up from time to time. A person's love of wealth, or offspring, or wife, or his soul being attracted towards a musical voice are all indications of his search for the true beloved." So, this everlasting spiritual thirst to be connected with something bigger than yourself is in actuality man's search for establishing a connection with God. The Holy Quran presents a beautiful analogy in this regard, that the world is like a glass palace, the floors of which are paved with slabs of glass, under which a rapid river flows. Every person fears to tread on the glass, imagining it to be running water. His Holiness explains that the heavenly bodies, such as the sun and the moon, are like the smooth slabs of glass under which a great power is in operation, like a fast-flowing current. His Holiness further explains that it is a great mistake on the part of an individual who ascribes all power to the heavenly bodies and fails to behold the power that operates behind them. His Holiness explains that God is imperceptible and is latent in everyone like the quality of fire. Reason alone is not sufficient to acquire certainty of belief in him. Explaining this further, His Holiness states, "The being of God Almighty, despite its brilliance, is utterly hidden. This physical system that is spread out before our eyes is not alone sufficient for its recognition. That is why those who have depended upon this system and have observed carefully its perfect and complete orderliness, together with all the wonders comprehended in it, and have thoroughly studied astronomy, physics, and philosophy, and have, as it were, penetrated into the heavens and the earth, have yet not been delivered from the darkness of doubts and suspicions. Many of them become involved in grave errors, and wander far away in pursuit of their stupid fancies. Their utmost conjecture is that this grand system, which displays great wisdom, must have a maker. But this conjecture is incomplete, and this insight is defective. The affirmation that this system must have a creator does not amount to a positive affirmation that he does in truth exist. This is because reasoning has always required an aid. Even in the scientific world, the most reasoning can achieve is a hypothesis, the truth of which is established through the aid of repeated scientific experimentation. The same holds true for experiencing God. Since he is not limited to this finite world, reason requires the aid of revelation from God himself, who confirms his own existence. His Holiness states in this regard, "Indeed, God has, through eternity, called mankind to himself by affirming, 'I am present.' It would be a great impertinence to imagine that man has laid God under an obligation by discovering him through his own effort, and that if there had been no philosophers, he would have continued unknown. It is equally stupid to inquire how can God speak unless he has a tongue to speak with. The answer is, has he not created the earth and the heavenly bodies without physical hands? Does he not view the universe without eyes? Does he not hear our supplications without physical ears? Then is it not necessary that he should also speak to us? Nor is it correct to say that God spoke in the past but does not speak now. We cannot limit his word or his discourse to any particular time. He is as ready today to enrich his seekers from the fountain of revelation as he was at any time. The gates of his grace are as wide open today as they were at any time." Bringing us to the end of today's dars. In the next dars, we will start looking at some proofs of the existence of God. As mentioned before, I have linked the book in the description below, the book, The Philosophy of the Teachings of Islam. Make sure to click on the bell icon so you are informed of future episodes, and also make sure to subscribe, like and share this video so that we can enable as many people as possible to benefit from the treasures left behind by the Promised Messiah alayhi salatu wasalam. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.